That's why we're so excited about this one, because Barcelona could turn things around. We're hopping on to the pitch. Here's Forbidden Temple, 5 minutes on the clock. Oxygen in blue, Barcelona in orange. Aiden, take it away, my dude.
Well, we are indeed underway for game number 1 of this best of 5, and of course early stuff coming out from Oxygen, looking to just play that a little deep, test FC Barcelona, see if they're fully awake and if they're warmed up and ready to go. Well, maybe, as you mentioned, FC Barcelona losing 3-1 to Oxygen, but maybe they threw it on purpose. Maybe give them a little false hope. Maybe that's a strategy they're going for. But you're absolutely right when you say you learn more in defeat than in victory. And of course, Barcelona will be looking to use the information they gained just the other day here in this very, very important match in the regional.
Well, it's got to be said, Tars and Blurry, two very, very decisive players in their own rights, can handle defense as well as quick transitions into attack. And Nachitao, sometimes just the way he can finish off the ball, get those goals, is second to none. Blurry on the ball, dropping it down to Nachitao, but well kept out by Chaucet. Interesting to see Barcelona with a lot of aggression in the early parts of this game.
Interesting what we're seeing as well is a lot of space opening up in the midfield. Perhaps, players tend to take things a little bit more slow and sit a little deeper in game 1, but it is going to be Nachito to open the scoring here game 1 for FC Barcelona. And as it often does happen, it is around that 90-second mark we get that goal number 1, and Nachito be the one finding it.
Nachito getting the first goal. Going to be interesting to see how Oxygen respond, because this is a team that needs to get fired up. They need to get a bit of anger about themselves. We know Oxygen, a little bit lackluster over the last months. Well, quite frankly, since the start of RLCS X, I've got to say, Aiden, this is not the team you thought it would be. So when does it begin? So far, they've got a nice bench mark. The bar is at a comfortable level, but they need to extend it. Oxygen coming on in thinking they're picking up a world beater, and so far they've just been complacent.
They have been a little lackluster, perhaps underperforming. We know what they're capable of. We know individually, on paper, they should be a team to be feared. FC Barcelona, not a lot known about this roster. We haven't seen a lot of them yet, and neither have Oxygen. And of course, they did play them, as you mentioned earlier, but playing a team once isn't going to give you all of the info that you need. And in this opening phase, it is Barcelona coming out of the gates, looking to ask questions of Oxygen, create some problems in the back, and that midfield seems to be very, very open. It's only now that you see Ferrer jumping in there to make an interception, sends it very high. Blurry needing to do better on the backboard there. Fortunately for him, it goes out wide, but Astral's able to seek the net again. Good save from Taz. Ferrer trying to keep the pressure up, but Taz will get this one clear down towards the Oxygen corner. Astral's getting taken out of the play. Nachto, perhaps the shot was on there, but it will fall for Blurry. The triple kill limit on net, and Astral somehow maintaining possession there. Perhaps a little fortunate the way the ball fell for him.
Yeah, and Ferrer's got a nice little connection there to send it into the corner, just play keep away. Not going to be able to chase onto that as Blurry just sends to the full left, not able to get the block, but does enough work. And for me in here and now, Oxygen just look like they're trying to build up boost. They're trying to gain control of the pitch. They're sort of struggling as this ball is just very loose between the players. That was a beautiful attempt back to Astral, but the angle just a bit too skinny.
What we're seeing at the moment is neither team really taking charge of the match. Of course, Barcelona 1 goal up. They are in the driving seat, but it's a real back and forth and sort of sharing the spoils of possession. Of course, not sharing the spoils of goals. Astral now has got a chance to find Ferrer in the middle. It's a great demo from Blurry to make sure he's not on a passing option. Chalset's trying to do a little bit something special from the ceiling. Can't come good with it. Blurry's now got an open net in front of him, and well, Oxygen need to be better than that. The amount of space they've given there, and as I mentioned earlier, the midfield is so open, and the fact that you can be going and scoring those here in the regional, I mean, Blurry says we take those.
I mean, too right. If Oxygen are just going to give you the net free, you're going to walk it on in. And Oxygen, they do not have this easy. They're starting in round 1. whoever wins this goes on the face against Galaxy Racer, who I would argue, a year ago, I'd been like, we were just seeing the rise of Arju, right? Not even a year ago now, blimey, back on the mouse roster. So you'd be thinking here, Galaxy Racer coming out of nowhere, and Oxygen would be the all-powerful team to fear, and just Oxygen, like I said, since the summer have not really fired up. I don't want to be disrespectful to the lads, but Rocket League sort of like memory span is almost goldfish-like, right? Where you only take into account records from the last 3 months. Finally, that's squeaking on through. But a very simplistic goal at Chaussette. This just seems a team that's a little bit too lackluster for our liking.
Well, they have never really seemed to hit the high bar. Perhaps we put too high expectations on them. And, as you say, a little bit of that goldfish memory when it comes to remembering results. And we look in at the, not too far in the distant past. And often that could come down to the fact that there is just so much Rocket League lately. And, form has the opportunity to change very quickly. You see a lot of one's team. And, well, that means that the teams get figured out. And Oxygen, of course, these players have been around in the scene for quite a long time. And this is now the opportunity for a team like Barcelona to have been able to study them and to know what do they do in these specific situations and how can we control the game. And, well, they controlled it for long enough. They kept it simple. It was simple Rocket League from Barcelona, not taking big risks, playing high value plays. Oxygen do find a goal back, of course. That means they scored the last goal in this game. Perhaps that's a little bit of momentum going into game 2. But Barcelona looking somewhat the stronger team going into game 2.
I love how you're like, Oxygen have been around for a while. Chaussette was back in season 1 of the RLCS. Can we just take that into account? He started right at the beginning of things and is still relevant today. Like, not many players you can say that about. And here, just again, he's the lad we need to see fired up. He got a very important goal in that game to probably bring Oxygen's heads back into it. But this just seems like they need to be fired up. They didn't really play out there. They were just ambling on about. As soon as Oxygen fire up, now that's when the game begins. And I reckon it's going to be here in game 2, Aiden. This is when I think Oxygen will really start kicking things off, when they pick up the pace and just get that fluid passing to each other that we see time and time again. And already, Ferro, with the run down the sides, you can see they've got a bit of ambition about themselves. This is more like it, Oxygen.
And the demo coming out as well on Blurry. It's caused a bit of a havoc. Blurry, fortunate for him, spawning on the near side of the ball, able to get a touch to just thwart that quick attack at the beginning of the game here from Oxygen. And Astral trying to knock this one down for Ferrer. Blurry in the way again. Astral with the pop-up, sending it high for Ferrer. Taz going to get this one wide, not far enough away from the danger zone. Shalsek can pop this back across. Ferrer's lurking there. Looking maybe for the middle, but it's a bit of ping-pong across the net. Playing tennis with each other. But the benefit of this is, of course, they do maintain possession. And right now, Barcelona finding it hard to get a touch on the ball. And it's all Oxygen. The pressure brewing here. Nachato not able to get it away. Blurry finally getting a touch, but it comes to the midfield where Chaussette is able to follow. Astral now looking to get it low underneath his opponent. Blurry trying to get it away again. And what we're seeing at the moment is a good sustained pressure from Oxygen, which we didn't see in game 1. Looking a lot more confident, like they want it here, and they do find the goal. At some point it had to come, right?
It did indeed. Chaussette to Astral, to Ferrer, to net, to goal. 1 minute 20, and Oxygen have reclaimed their form. Were they starting with a handicap? Were they like, you know what, Barcelona? You could do with a game. We'll give you that, and then we'll show up to form. Barca slap them down now. If you can get the equalizer, oh, what a story this would start to be.
Well, they've got to find that momentum. It's probably the time to do it. I'd say that, in the regional is the time to sort of step it up, put your foot on the gas. And here in game 2, better time than any when you're 1 game down in the series. Those best of 5s, they can get away from you very quickly. You lose 2 back-to-back at the beginning. But Taz with a good carry, just trying to keep that one close, create pressure just by having the ball on his car. Blurry with the drop down back to Taz. And Barcelona looking a little bit more aggressive. The Tide are sitting back. I don't like it, so they try to find the possession downfield. Blurry's there to continue it, gets it away from Chaussette. Astral, good control from him to relieve the danger for the time being. Looks for the midfield. Ferrer's there and no one contesting from FC Barcelona. Leaving it very empty. The back 3-man on net. Surely that means they might be a little bit rattled by the mechanical ability of the players on Oxygen. Looking out for Astral. They know what he's capable of. Still a tight affair here in game 2. Just the one goal separating these two teams.
Just the one. But you can definitely tell Oxygen are wanting to extend that. Tart's blocked out by Chaussette. Well picked up there and cleared down to blue end. Shall buy time to build up. Nachtel looking for the pass over the blurry, and Ferrer will deny it on net. Astral and over one. Nachtel having to make his way entirely back to net just to put a little bit of safety on the defense. That pass coming on through as well. It has just been lost by Oxygen. It was looking like such a good build-up. But unfortunately, pacing seemed to have just gone a little bit awry there.
I mean, it's interesting. The game's played at a very steady pace here. That these two teams, what I was sort of saying in game 1 about neither team really taking charges, you see that both teams are sort of adopting the same speed as each other. No one really trying to outpace each other. It's like trying to, you know, keep the game under wraps and look for a guaranteed play, go for those high-value 50s and high-value passes, low-risk plays. But that does mean that the pace remains very similar from both sides. Blurry, very close to completing a double tap there, but Ferrer just to whisk it away. Astral did the demo, and there's an opportunity for Oxygen again, but maybe a little passive there. No one really wanting to dive in and push that one over the line.
You're right. It's almost like it's just missing a pounce factor. That willing to take the risk. I was there going, give it a year ago, and Chaussette would have been jumping at net with that ball just trickling on across it. But here, with just a single double a limb bracket every month making up these different regionals, I guess teams can get a little bit nervy about that, especially in the open stages where you are still warming up, getting into the bracket, where they're just looking to take it all the way to 5 and not try and overthink things, not just try and run at the problem.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what I've seen is Astral keeps putting that ball across the net. There's no one there. Perhaps it's on purpose. Perhaps they're just trying to play the ball into space. You see Astral now playing it into that corner, keeping the ball away from their half. They're happy with the 1-goal lead. They keep playing it away from the opponents into spaces where no one really is. Of course, well, then the opponents can't score. And Oxygen, it's a neat 1-0 win. And it was a very calculated approach that they took to this game, I would say. It's no dominant performance. Of course, it's just the 1 goal. But Barca didn't really get any proper opportunities to threaten Oxygen and ask some real questions.
No, it didn't. I'm just looking at the stats now. Most of the things looking quite dominant in favor to Oxygen. When you're looking at demos, for example, just trying to remove Barca, and maybe that's the key factor there, is just making things awkward for Barcelona. Oxygen just trying to dictate, say, the macro of the game, take control of the entire pitch, because whenever it did come down to those Barcelona attacks, they did register 4 shots. I mean, Oxygen also registered 4 shots, but those 4 coming out from Barcelona just weren't scary, were they?
No, they didn't really, cause any problems, any real threat. It was easy for Oxygen to clean it up, and you're going to need something a little better than that to get past these boys. And Ferrer now with an early goal, and well, if Oxygen go about this game the like they did the last, they'll be happy they'll hold on to an early 1-goal lead.
This looks more like the Oxygen of old. They've found their groove again. Astral just digging deep, causing issues, and Ferrer slips on in, grabs the goal, 13 seconds. And well, if this is anything like last time, job done. 4 minutes 40 left on the clock. Barcelona have got to step it up. They've got to turn up the music, blare it, get their neighbors angry. And well, just enjoy a little giggle, I think.
I think what this game needs right now is just a little bit more chaos. It's very, very calm and well-tempered, I feel. And no real killer instinct. that passion, that desire. I feel like it's just a little bit missing. No real threat coming from Barcelona at times, and Oxygen just happy to play the ball into space rather than going for high-value attacking plays. Chaussette, though, underneath the ball here. It's going to be a good quick turn from him. Looking to get that down into the danger zone using the trickle down of the waterfall. Astral can't really find anyone in the midfield with that 50. It's going to come straight back to Nachito. But Oxygen now ramping up the speed a little bit, going into these challenges a lot faster, not giving Barcelona time on the ball. Barcelona feeling the pressure still, but Taz has been invited to clear this one away. Unfortunately, Chaussette sitting deep. Taz gets to be a one. They could slip it in the near post. Ferrer there just on time, and that one's going to whistle on by as well.
And it just comes down. After that, you can see Astral respecting his opponents, brings it on into 50-50, just buying time, sending it width across the pitch with the 50-50, just to allow for his teammates to pick up boost. A little double commit there between Astral and Ferrer. And I have picked up some of the comms that are a little bit strange coming out from Auction. A few double commits that weren't needed. Players going for the ball when teammate behind has got the time, and definitely better position to clear it off. Nachito with the setup, but Taz, oh, he just was not ready for that. Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, you know, the double commits coming out. I think it comes a little bit down to the fact that Oxygen are trying to play just a little bit quicker now. And, well, that's affecting their comms or their awareness of each other on the field. And Astral playing this one down into space again, but it's going to be an easy clear for Blurry with the air dribble. Goes into that 50 on Chaussette, doesn't come out well with it. Blurry there trying to keep this one wide for Nachito. It's a good pass up for Taz. Blurry there lurking on the backboard, looking to bump Chaussette away, but Chaussette's done what he needed to, and FC Barcelona is back into step one again in defense.
It's Blurry trying to pass out to middle, but he's got no man there. Nachito just gets him removed. So the ball's back in Auction's hands, and oh, Chaussette baiting them on in and sinking the ball. 2 minutes left, 2-0 up. That was pretty.
Well, this is what we were talking about, that killer instinct. Now you see they want it. Just go in for these plays. Coming from a tight angle, Nachito going into the challenge. Gets beaten a little too easily by Chaussette, but that's what Oxygen needed. A little bit of breathing room now. And FC Barcelona here in round one. Of course, they got game one. They took that, but they haven't been able to carry that momentum into game two or game three so far. They need to step it up now. They need to change things around because it feels like Oxygen have got their number, and that's come way too close for comfort for Taz. And he doesn't get a touch on it. They do dodge that bullet passer. Chaussette just keeping that close. He's watching Taz carefully. Astral there almost getting faked out by Blurry, but he wasn't having it. Blurry did give him the eyes. Now FC Barcelona a little bit of sustained pressure. Blurry's up, but no contact, and Astral is able to get it away again. The demo coming out on Nachito, and now Astral one-on-one with Blurry, looking for the pass to the backboard. Ferrer with the follow to the crossbar, and Chaussette to finish it off, but Taz denying them yet again.
Barca have got a guardian angel for that not to wind up being a goal. 1 minute left. Make good on your chances, lads. Turn it around with Chaussette. Getting a clear down to the mid. Is blocked out by Taz. No one's home. Taz has only just gone and got a wonder goal out of nowhere. Disbelief, definitely. How does he work this on out? It's a very simple goal, but should have never happened.
I think Taz might have been looking his teammate there in the middle, just setting up the pass to drop it down into the danger zone. And I don't think really anyone expected that to go on target from the position he was in. Just moments earlier, he denied Oxygen a great scoring opportunity. Now it's within one goal. 30 seconds, just over 30 seconds left on the clock. FC Barcelona are within a shout of tying this one up, seeking that overtime. Don't want to allow Oxygen on to match point. Blurry up quickly with speed, gets the bump on Astral, but it's not enough to stop him from getting a touch on the ball by using him in a rather fierce manner, just forcing his opponent back into the ball.
Auction in full defense mode, just looking to play keep away. Since this ball touches the ground, it is done and dusted. Auction go, take game 3. move 2-1 up in the series onto match point. And well, what on earth do we have here? Suddenly a bit of an upset, and you could see right at the end there, Oxygen were, for lack of better words, scared. Aiden, they suddenly had woke up, came to realization that this is just not theirs to walk away with anymore.
Absolutely. I mean, Barca taking the game to them, and Barca, they show that they're able to lock up shop and defend deep, dig in deep, and get the necessary saves, because Oxygen were testing them time and time again, getting plenty of shots away. And Barca, they were looking dangerous on the counter. Oxygen trying their best to tie up possession in the midfield, get the interceptions, but every time Barca managed to slip through, they started to look dangerous. And I think really the difference in this game, because I felt Barca a lot of the time looked the more dangerous team, but it was that final end product that they were missing. The shots were not coming on target. The last pass just didn't quite meet each other, and that was really the difference there in that second half. And Barca really a chance for them to tie it up and to take it to overtime, maybe get a win in that game, be a chance missed. And now, of course, their backs are going to be against the wall here in game 4. If they lose, that will be the series done and dusted.
And well, Barcelona tend to look a lot better when they go on that all-out attack. You can see they're actually going quite deep there, but pulls it into 50-50. The pass out to Nachito. It was a good idea, but Ferrer had the number. Tars keeping it up in their opponent's half, but just not able to keep control. The attack just not really well formulated from Barca. It does the job, and that 50-50 to keep it away is actually a pleasant surprise.
Well, contested start to the game. No immediate goal coming. And those early goals can be very frustrating. Not only as a spectator, but oh, that was a dirty pass that came too quick for Barcelona. Great little 1-2-3. Ferrer back into the middle. And Nachito, he was a whisker away, but a whisker too far.
It does just feel like Oxygen are ramping up. It's slow, but it's steady. They're conserving their energy. They know it's going to be a long 4 days, and they probably expect themselves to go the whole way to day 4 to make it into the top, I'm trying to think by that point, top 8. But they've got to show a little bit more. This is what scares me about Oxygen, is that they do take that little bit of time to ramp up, resulting in when we have when we have series which looks so lackluster and then come into game 4 like this, and you can't help but just blush, because that is beautiful.
That was fantastic by Astral. He's absolutely faked out Taz there as he's jumped up for it, used the air roll to then jump back down while, you know, having his roof facing the floor. Air rolls back around to catch it on the floor. It's caught his opponent out.
Nachito in that situation?
It's a move that we've seen before, but you don't see it often. Rarely get the space to do it, but then to have the audacity to go and pull it off, that is the quality of Astral. And that will put a statement here in game 4 as Oxygen, well, they're 2 goals up. 3 minutes on the clock, and FC Barcelona, it's a bit of a tall order for them now.
Tar's not able to get high enough there, and that's so 1v2. Oxygen just back off a little bit, wait for him to hit it out into them. Machito's not really got any boost, so Astral can easily put that away. Not second man follow on. Shorset get in the 50-50. Ferrer 50-50 into Tars, but Nachito bring into a dribble lad, but he's popped it up to nobody in the center. He was looking at it. There is no excuse for that. All he's done is handed the ball on over to his opponents and said, you know what, have a go at our net.
Blurry trying to keep it close there with the air dribble. I think at times that Barcelona aren't keeping that ball close enough. They're looking to play quick passes. Now Blurry again trying to keep it close, but that air dribble had no control. It's got to be better from him. This time Taz doing the same. Well, Barcelona really going into these air dribbles now, trying to find the 50s in the air. Give a bit of a better chance of dictating that 15. Natchito quickly into the challenge. Had to be. Astral was looking dangerous again, moving forward for a solo play. Shorset, though, cutting this one out in the midfield. Blurry, the only thing he can do is hassle his opponent. Fantastic idea from Taz, but Blurry hadn't caught up to the play just yet. Well, now you can see here in game 4, you know it's going to start ramping up because it's Barcelona's last lifeline, and Oxygen doing their best to shut them down as quickly as possible, but now it will start to be a little bit more chaotic. Play will start to speed up the tempo of the game, and that's when we'll start to see some mistakes coming out from these players.
Barcelona right now backed into a corner, and you can see some of the best plays coming out. That save from Nachito, something else to be able to clutch it. They got to turn on the goals. Start striking. Go up the laces. The pass over to Nachito. Blurry just not able to get it quick enough to him. And that counter felt so easy. Everyone had committed to the attack here, and no one was home when Shorset came a knocking.
I mean, when you're a couple goals down and the other team's on match point, you see the clock ticking down. You're going to be so much more aware of how much time is left. And the more that clock starts ticking down, the more and more impatient you get to find a goal back. And I mean, it's easy to say, just stay calm, keep playing our game, we'll find a goal eventually. And at some point, you start to lose hope that you're going to find that goal. And you want to push forward, you want to be more aggressive. And FC Barcelona, well, I like the desire, but of course that's come with great risk, and now Oxygen Esports may have just found the nail in the coffin, because I think even if Barcelona find a goal back, it will be too little, too late.
Will indeed. Just 30 seconds left, 10 seconds a goal. That is a lot to ask, and well, let's just add another to the fold. I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, Aiden, but I think we're done.
Oh, it is what it is, Bacon, and well, Taz there trying to keep it out, but you know how it is. The proof is in the pudding is in the ball, and the pudding in this case is all over the keeper's face.
You've been waiting to say that on the RLCS broadcast, haven't you, buddy?
Yeah.
And well, I've been waiting for the day once again for Shorset to absolutely pop off. It is undeniable here and now. His 4th goal here in Game 4. Numerous goals throughout this series. Oxygen, whilst looking fairly shaky in Games 1 and 2. A little bit of a scare there in Game 3. But we did get to see them hold down the fort for a minute. Played a defensive game. But we also got to see him with absolute blistering pace here in Game 4. Oxygen looked ready to move on through to the next round. I was a little bit worried come the midway mark of this series, but right here and now, that match against Galaxy Racer later, that has got to be a beauty.
Yeah, that should be a great game between Oxygen and Galaxy Racer. Galaxy Racer are one of these teams that on a great day could literally beat anyone, but then when they're cold, they're very cold. But yeah, for Barcelona, not what they wanted, you know, trying to resurrect themselves as RLCS contenders, and well, losing 5-0 here in Game 4 really says it all. And I think if we go back to goal 3 for Oxygen here, it's the moment you can just pinpoint when Barca's hopes, dreams, and hearts were broken.